Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into my podcast, Xena Life is a Dominatrix. This is episode 40. This will be aired on Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. Before I begin discussing today's topic, I just want to note that I have a link on each and every of my podcast episode, and then link leads to my Venmo page. Tips are not obligated, but tips are appreciated. So thank you very much. So, today's topic, it's just going to be a whole lot of topics I'm going to be discussing. First of all, I just can't believe it. I can't believe this is already episode 40. I also, of course, want to thank you all for tuning in, subscribing, spreading the word, sending tips to this podcast to help keep me going, and also your comments and your criticism also helps as well. Little did I know I would actually create a little podcast. So when I say I'm going to do something, I just do it. I try hard not to procrastinate. So the motto is keep going until you get it right, then keep going until you can't get it wrong. And then when you say you're going to do something, then do it. What does Nike say? Just do it. Next topic, session. Most of my sessions I don't discuss because I believe in confidentiality. But this particular session I will discuss. I seen a slave recently who enjoys having his face shown on camera, like when I take a photo or video. So I state, "Are you sure?" He says, "Yes, and you could even post it on Twitter." I state, "Okay." So he's into getting arrested by a sexy officer dominatrix, such as myself. I enjoy playing this role as an officer, so I taunt him with my steel cuffs from Chicago. And then I taunt him even more, and then I cuff his wrists together, and then I slap on the ankle cuffs, and then I tell him, "You're mine now, bitch." And then I place him in restrictive rope bondage, ball gag his mouth to keep him silent, and then I blindfold him. While he's either hog-tied by me or bound to the St. Andrew's cross, he loses track of time, and then he feels my sharp fingernails gliding on his helpless body, giving him goosebumps. Each time when the session is finished, he gets sad because the session is finished. Before I tie him up, I'll state why he's being arrested by me. So I enjoy role-playing a different scenario each and every time. This particular scene, I stated, "You were running too many red lights and you were caught on camera. And now I'm cuffing you together and I am placing you under arrest. And I'm going to keep the keys to these handcuffs for a very long time." And sometimes some people enjoy chastity training, like they enjoy when I keep the key to their chastity device. It's all about trust. You have to trust the individual who's basically keeping the keys to your naughty bits or your handcuffs. And I enjoy playing with this individual. I enjoy role playing. I enjoy having my way and him letting go. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And when I stated to him, I stated, "Are you sure you'd like for me to, post your photo on Twitter? Are you sure you would like for me to take your photo?" He's like, "Yes, yes, you can." And then I state, "Well, if your coworker sees your face on my Twitter page, then your coworker is as naughty as you are." So it's, yeah. So events. The next topic is events. I hosted events for the month of May here in New York City. I'm grateful that the venue approached me on throwing these particular parties. So I threw 2 burlesque events, a kink event, and a freak show. Back then in Chicago, when I threw parties, it was once a month. And then it was twice a month. And it started from 2006 to 2015. And back then, for me, it was a lot. But this particular venue here in New York City, they asked if I would like to throw events once a week. And it takes a lot from my already busy schedule. So I just like to thank you all for attending the events in Astoria. It was fun hosting and organizing the events and getting to know performers. And yeah, back in 2015, I stated, okay, I hosted parties for 9 years, never again. But you know what they say? Never say never. I'm a huge fan of performance arts as well as being on stage. New York City is blessed with so many performers, so many events in each borough. The nightlife here is booming. So the homebodies out there listening, I encourage you all to get out of your house, see some live shows, live concerts, burlesque, singers, dancers, theater. If you're in New York City, enjoy Broadway. New York City has so much to offer. Don't take it for granted. When the city was shut down, I missed attending events so much. During lockdown, I thought, no more concerts, only this Zoom shit. This is not the same. So yeah, get out and enjoy what your city or town has to offer. Okay, next topic, spicing it up. I've discussed this particular topic in a previous podcast episode. So I received a question recently from a gentleman. He stated, I want to make changes in our marriage. We only use 1 or 2 positions in bed. So I want to try toys. And then I want to experiment with kink or even a threesome. So I have advice. You're lucky you're even getting some. Some couples are so busy. They don't have time to bond. They don't have time for sex. But sex is healthy. It's a way to become closer to your partner. Regarding toys, ask if your wife wants to go to a sex toy shop so you two can pick out goodies for one another. There's nothing wrong with spicing up your sex life. It can benefit the marriage on numerous levels. Regarding a threesome, it's a hot fantasy to have. Just think about how your wife might feel about the things you're interested in. Be understanding on how she feels. If she says no, then it's a no. And then if you're interested in seeing a dominatrix, express your interest to your wife. See what her thoughts are. Communication is key. Doing stuff behind her back can be hurtful to her. Be considerate, respectful. And regarding like a threesome, there's a little thing called jealousy. So make sure that you two are not jealous. And it's all about having a great time. And yeah, take it from there. People see like porn where they have a threesome or foursome, and then that sparks an interest, and they're like, oh, I want to try that. Or somebody might see femdom porn that might again spark an interest, like, oh, I want to try that. So there's nothing wrong with that. And but again, communication is key. You don't want to do things behind your partner's back. Alrighty, next topic for this episode, crush. I know someone who's married and she's told me that she has a crush on someone. By the way, I had permission to talk about this on this podcast episode. Anyway, she stated that she has this crush, and I'm not going to say her name, and I'm not going to say who she has a crush on because, again, I believe in confidentiality. So for my 2 cents, having a crush on someone else when you're married doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It's not a reflection of your marriage. Having a crush may not mean anything at all. People in happy, healthy, committed relationships can still develop feelings for attractive others. Sexual contact with your crush is cheating, though. It's possible to have emotional affairs, so if you find that you start to replace your partner with your crush for emotional connections, then it might be considered infidelity. The goal, just don't cheat. The motto, don't cheat. Bottom line in the marriage, just don't cheat. Don't hurt your partner in any way. Speak clearly with your partner about your crush. Ask yourself, why do you have a crush? And they've been married for quite a while, and she just developed this crush with somebody, and this crush has no idea. I was remembering my own personal crush. Actually, my very first crush I ever had, I think I was either 12 or 13 or 14, around that time. And it was I had a crush on a boy that lived on the same block as me, and I told my best friend. And then my best friend became close to my crush, became talkative, but little old me, I was very shy back then. He had no idea I had this crush. I trusted my best friend at the time to not tell him, but what did she do instead? She made out with him. I caught them making out in his front yard, and basically I was walking across the street. I took a glimpse of his home, and then I saw the two of them. I think they were sitting on the porch making out, and I didn't mean to see this. It just happened on accident, and my jaw, I'm sure my jaw dropped to the floor, but I just remember being so heartbroken, crying, just total, I couldn't believe she did that. And she knew how I felt about this boy. And so I stopped talking to her for quite a while. And I'm like, why would I be friends with somebody like her? But then again, we ended up being friends again. We stopped talking for about a year or so. And he never found out that I had this crush on him. And then we became friends again. And then I went to high school, and I remember when I had a crush on someone, I just pursued them. I didn't tell them flat out saying, I have a crush on you. But I just kind of pursued them, and then I would make out with the person. I was kind of adventurous. I was a kind of a go-getter, although I was still shy. But I just, if I had a crush on someone, I would just make out with the person. And I was 14 and freshman of high school was my first actual boyfriend. That lasted for a very short time. But it was definitely an experience to be in high school. And I was sick and tired of being a shy person, and if I had a crush, I was just a go-getter back then. And that was that story of crush. And hearing my friend's story about her crush brought me back memories. And I think I asked my friend, I'm like, are you ever going to tell your crush? She's like, nope. He'll never know. And she's a married woman, and she explained that to me. She's like, I'm a married woman. Can't go fucking around. At any rate, next topic I'd like to talk about, this is a sensitive topic. It's titled Help. I just want to note that if you all need help out there, there's 3 digits to remember. It is 988. It is a suicide and crisis hotline, lifeline. I support this organization. In 2020, Congress designated the new 988 dialing code to be operated through the existing National Suicide Prevention Hotline. SAM HSA sees 988 as a first step towards a transformed crisis care system in America. So read more about this organization on www.988lifeline.org. Also on psychologytoday.com, this site gives a list of depression support groups in New York. If you're not in NYC, try and see if you can chat with a therapist via Zoom or a phone call, or whatever city you're in. I would definitely recommend Psychology Today and see if there's any support groups in your city or town. I'm not sure what the rates are for these particular groups. Regarding online therapy, there's a website called Talkspace.com. The rates vary per counselor. I give major props to the counselors and therapists out there. They're there to assist you in any way. There's no shame in seeking help. And just know you are not alone. I'm bringing this up because I read statistics like Americans, depression, age groups, depression, people in New York City or big cities, depression, housewives, depression, people that are working hard, depression. It just, you got to combat it somehow, and therapy is definitely a great way to combat it, and there's no shame in seeking a therapist. I personally know some therapists, and I just give them a pat on the back and just say, great job. And personally, I'm like, wow, that's really, because like in 2020, I'm sure, I didn't ask, but I'm sure that they received a lot of phone calls or Zoom chats from people that needed help. And still in 2023, people still need help. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. And also, there's psychiatrists out there. They might recommend a antidepressant, but that's up to you. That's your choice. And there's so many antidepressants out there, and that's totally your choice. But the first step, a support group or one-on-one therapy or couples counseling. Couples counseling can also benefit the relationship, your relationship. And it's important to discuss because a lot of people are suffering from depression, and it's like they don't know why they have the depression. Sometimes it's hereditary, or it's in a gene, or they're going through a heartbreak, like a breakup, or they lost a loved one. And you have to keep your mind busy. You gotta be in a positive mindset. I know it's easier said than done, but do things that make you happy instead of working all the time. Focus on your hobbies. Focus on working out. Working out is also fantastic to cope with depression. Whether it's a great walk or a jog or a bike ride, swimming, a sport, whatever you choose. But finding time for yourself is very important for sure. And I just read more and more about statistics, and it's very sad to read about. And it's very important to take care of yourself. You come first. Self-care is important. Self-care, whether it's going to the barber. Self-care, whether it's getting a mani-pedi. Self-care when it's dressing yourself up in lingerie and being naughty with yourself. Self-care, being naughty with your partner in the bedroom. Self-care, treating yourself to a fantastic meal, whatever meal you desire. Like, if you have a cheat day and you don't want to cheat on that day, then cheat. Fuck it. You'll make up for it. You'll go back to the gym and burn those calories or whatnot. Um, but it's very important to take care of yourself and not neglect your body, not neglect your mind. And yeah, and when I read more and more stories about depression, it's very concerning. And yeah, just oh, also, what where I found out about 988, in 2022, Peter Hook from New Order, he goes on solo tours with his band. And last year in 2022 in the city, I saw him perform at a venue, and he wore a bright red shirt with huge letters on it. Huge numbers on it. 3 huge numbers on it. And the numbers were 988, because he supports that organization, because he advocates for them. And his old bandmate from Joy Division, Ian Curtis, sadly passed away in the early 80s from suicide. And 988 is a great hotline to call. It's a crisis lifeline. So if you know somebody, or if you are in need, I would suggest this Lifeline 988. And yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it's concerning to me. And also get out there, socialize with people, not be so isolated. Actually, Joy Division, Peter Hook's old band, have a song called Isolation. And hearing the lyrics on a lot of the songs from Joy Division, it's really beautiful lyrics, but it's like, whoa, isolation. What does this mean? It could mean because maybe Ian Curtis, the old singer from Joy Division, was feeling very isolated. I'm not sure which band member who wrote it exactly, but yeah, I know it's a touchy topic to talk about. Not many people talk about it because they don't want to admit that they have this depression. And I think it's very important to just not hold it in, but just speak out about it. Write a journal about it. Talk to a loved one about it, or your best friend, or a therapist, and not hold in the pain. There's a lot of weight already on your shoulders. You want to just get that weight off your shoulders. And when you get the weight off your shoulders, it helps. It helps immensely. It helps immensely to talk to somebody about it. Okay, that was a very long topic to talk about. So the next topic I'd like to talk about, grieving. I know it's another touchy topic. On Facebook, I see random people post about their pet passing away or their loved one passing away. And it's very sad, and people have a different way to grieve. And why I bring this up, because recently I've lost a few friends here in this year, 2023 already, as well as my cat that I've had for 14 years. And my cat passed unexpectedly within 48 hours. I couldn't believe it. I've had many cats in my life, and she was the one that went the quickest. She was the most timid cat I've ever had. And she's deeply missed. She's dearly missed. And after she passed away, I would find little things on the floor, like, wait a minute, that cat claw wasn't there before, that cat claw wasn't there before. And some people might not believe that there's like another side, that people from the other side are communicating. So I've been reading more and more about that, about loved ones, ways that loved ones can communicate with you from the other side. Back then, I would have like some friends that would tell me, I saw a ghost. And back then, I didn't believe them. They could have been telling the truth. And actually, I remember on my block where I grew up, there was this apartment building. And the rumor has it that back then, the hallway, there would be like a ghost. And one day my friends and I went in this hallway, and then what I remember was that we saw like a little shadow, and then we just stormed out immediately. We're like, oh, that's the ghost. That's the ghost. Who knows? And, but my first ghost experience, I want to say it was right after my grandfather passed away. This was in the 90s, and basically the story was that we took a family photo, and then back then you developed the photos. So we developed the photos, and there was one particular image that caught our eye. I wasn't the only person that noticed this image. It was my family that noticed this image too. We both stared at this image. Basically, I think it was on the far left of the group family photo. There was an outline of something, but it was shaped like my grandpa. And we're like, do you see what I see? One of those, like, double takes. Like, wait a minute, that looks like in the photo there's no face, but it was just like a outline or like a shadow in this photo. We're like, oh my God, maybe that's him posing with us. But nowadays, especially after my two grandmas passed away, one passed in 2018 and one passed in 2019. Now I'm saying, boy, they got out right before the fucking pandemic. I can't imagine how they would feel during the pandemic, really. And they both passed. They were both up there in age. And they're both in my heart. I think about both of them every day. They were both motherly figures. They were both tough, strict, loving, caring artists, cooks, both into fashion, loved music, and I get a lot of inspiration from my two grandmas. And basically, when they passed, I would just grieve. I would just be sad, and still now I still think about them like every day. And sometimes I would get a whiff of my other grandma's home cooking. And I would get a whiff of this cooking in my home when I'm not even cooking. And I'm like, okay, where did that smell come from? Okay, maybe it's my grandma's cooking. It smells just like my grandma's home cooking. Where did that smell come from? I'm not even cooking. I'm just sitting on the couch watching a movie, and then I smell this smell. Another time, I smelled fragrance in the air. I can't remember where exactly this was. I don't know if it was in my home, but it was like, because my grandma would wear this perfume, very strong perfume, and then one day I just smelled it in the air. It's like, whoa. That's very, like, where did this smell come from? Also, like a name. Like they both had very unique names. So my other grandma, I remember seeing her name randomly. And I'm not going to say the names. It's very personable, but I just saw her name randomly. I think it was a either a restaurant in New York or in Brooklyn, or it was, I can't remember exactly where I saw her name, but I saw her name and I'm like, whoa, maybe she's communicating with me. So when I read about how people from the other side communicate, I become more and more fascinated by it. And yeah, I know that was a lot to talk about. And um, also the other day, like a week ago, no, 2 weeks ago, I was in an Uber, and then all of a sudden a song came on the radio, and it was a name. The title of the song was the name of somebody I knew who passed away. And it's another unique name. And my other grandma in 2018, when we were at the cemetery, when I was following the hearse in my vehicle, this song, I was listening to music on the radio, and this particular song came on the radio that never comes on the radio. I've never heard this song on the radio, and then it came on right when I was following the hearse in the car, and it was one of my grandma's favorite songs. So I whipped out my phone and I recorded it, because I'm like, okay, nobody's gonna believe me. I'm gonna record this. And I'm not going to say the song, it's just too personable. And wow, I showed the recording to my family after my grandma was buried, and they're like, "Whoa, I just got the shivers." They couldn't believe it either, because they're like, "Yeah, we never heard this song on the radio, but it was one of my grandma's favorite songs." Also, regarding my friends who had passed away, it's just shocking. It's just really shocking. Um, I'm not going to say their names, it's just too personable, but they're all very much missed. Um, and also, I'd just like to say, fuck cancer. And also, I'd like to say, go to the doctor and get your annual checkups. It's very important. And then I'd like to say, live life to the fullest. Um, I think about my friends who had crossed on the other side quite often, actually. Like when I get a random sign, I'm like, oh, maybe they're communicating with me or something. Back then, I didn't believe in that stuff, but more and more, I'm kind of believing in it. And there's all kinds of books on it. It's kind of fascinating. Some people might not believe in it, but you believe what you want to believe in for sure. And I've read that when your pet crosses to the other side, and if they make a connection to you, that's pretty powerful. And some of the connections I've made, they're so unbelievable. I have more and more stories about it, but um, like even in my own home, like sometimes, not like the light will randomly go on, but I've read that like if a light bulb just burns out, I don't know if it's true or not, but if your light bulb just burns out, it's a way that the uh, the person from the other side's making contact or something, or maybe it was just a burnt out light bulb. I don't know. um, yeah, and it's pretty fascinating to read about for sure, and all the people that have crossed over from the other side, I miss them so much. And I just sometimes, well, all the time, I just wish that they were here. They were here. They were alive. And, but they will forever live in my heart. And I like to share stories about these people. And I've met a lot of these people from like the nightclub scene in Chicago, or their, um, and then I don't know, it's just so mind-boggling to me, like how I learn how they pass away. I'm like, but they're too young. They're I'm not going to say the age or their names, but it's just mind-boggling to me, and it breaks my heart, because I'm like, man, that person was such a great person. Yeah, that was pretty deep as well. So, my advice, hug your loved ones, hug your friends, hug your family. Also, for those who have grandparents alive, hug them tightly. Some grandparents, they have a tendency of repeating their stories over and over and over. Just listen to the stories then. Just keep on listening to the same stories. Enjoy the stories. Enjoy your grandparents' home cooking. Enjoy your time with them. And both of my grandmas were totally they were totally opposite. They both came from different parts of the world, but they were so much alike. And yeah, they were both motherly figures. And but it's, if you're feeling alone, maybe talk to your loved one who crossed over or something. I don't know. If you, not like Ouija board stuff, nothing like that. I don't I don't recommend that. Actually, I've never done that, played that game in my life. God, I think when I was a kid, I think I knew somebody with a Ouija board, and they asked me if I wanted to play. I'm like, nope, I'm good. Nope. Don't want that energy, that negative energy or negative force or something to be in my presence. So yeah, that was a whole lot of topics to talk about in this episode 40, Xena Life as a Dominatrix. But yeah, this podcast, like back during the pandemic when it started in 2020, I wanted to create a podcast. And I read about creating a podcast, and I wasn't sure how to create a podcast. So I finally created this podcast in 2022, and now I'm at episode 40. So I just wanted to say thank you all for the support, for tuning in, for spreading the word.